What's up, guys? So, on this particular video, we'll be discussing about Leh Ladakh in the month of April 2026. What you should be expecting in terms of the weather, the road condition, the places that you should be visiting. Overall, what is the hazards that you can face, which route will be open, the budget that you need to be having, and the kind of routing that you need to be following. So, now starting off with the weather, remember that the month of April is a transition month. So by default, the weather is changing. It's going from winter to spring. The daytime temperature will range anywhere between 5 degrees to 15 degrees, entirely depending on where you are. In places like Leh, it will not be very cold in the daytime, but in the night, it's going to be cold. While when you're going to places like Pangong or Hanle or Somoriri, which is close to the lake or at a higher altitude, the temperature will range in the night to as low as -5 or -15 degrees C. Occasional snowfall is definitely possible at the passes. It's places like Changla, Tanglangla, which have a higher probability of snowfall. Even Kardungla Pass has a very high probability of snowfall in the month of April. Now, the skies are clear, and this makes it a very good time for astrophotography and for all those who like and are interested in checking out the night sky. The month of April is an ideal month because the sky is extremely clear. Rainfall is minimal. It's only when it snows and it's the snowfall which percolates and turns into rain. That's the max that you will expect. Otherwise, rainfall in the month of April is not very common in, I would say, Leh Ladakh. Now, when it comes to the route, the best way to get in and out of Leh in the month of April is to fly into Leh. Taking a flight from Delhi or Srinagar is an ideal option, or even Chandigarh. Taking the road, there is only one option, that is for via Srinagar, which the road may or may not be open depending on the weather. Winter is late this year, so you can expect it to carry on into the month of April. And if it does go into April, you can expect the road might be open and shut. You don't know, cannot predict so early. The Manali Leh highway is not going to be open, so no matter what anybody tells you, there's no chance of the Manali Leh highway being open in the month of April. The max that this road, the Manali Leh highway, can open is in the month of, I would say, May or June, and that is also depending on how long the snowfall continues. Internal roads within Leh will be open. It's the road to Pangong, which is Changla Pass, and Nubra Valley, which is Kardungla, will be open, even though it is going to be covered in snow. Just make sure that the vehicle that you hire in Leh, they carry chains with them for all four tires, so that in case there's a snowstorm or a blizzard or it starts to snow very heavily, by default you're going to be protected with this with the chains, which will help increase the traction. Do not venture out into Ladakh without having chains for your vehicle. Now, what you can expect in April, it is the town of Leh is at its best because there's very less tourist crowd. You can go to all the monasteries without having any flutter of the tourist crowd, which you can expect in the month of May, June, July onwards. If you're planning on going to sightseeing spots, that is in Sham Valley, basically, I would say Sangam. That is a confluence of Indus and Zanskar. That's also very good to be going. Every place around Leh for sightseeing is at its peak in terms of no crowd. So it's perfect time for content creators and photographers to be going to Leh Ladakh. Now, when you're planning on going beyond the town of Leh, Nubra Valley has very limited crowd again. The accommodations are just opening and season is just starting to start. So do not expect anything lavish. And at the same time, you can expect places like Pangong will have very limited accommodation. So overall, you're not going to spend too much on accommodation, and you will not get the luxury that you want to get in places like Pangong or Somoriri in the month of April. Now, for all those who are considering going on a motorbike ride in the month of April, be prepared because it's going to be extremely difficult to be riding when it starts snowing. So avoid planning a biking trip around Leh Ladakh in the month of April. The best place to be biking is to hire a bike and go around the town of Leh, because that's the best option. Go sightseeing around Leh with the bike. You can go all the way to Hemis, or you can go all the way till Mulbek, which is halfway to Kargil. That is a better option. But taking the bike to Nubra Valley and Pangong is a big risk because you got to go through passes, and if it starts snowing at these passes, you're going to be stranded, and that's a very big concern in the month of April. So avoid biking at any cost. Now, the kind of gear that you need very good shoes. Shoes should be waterproof. You need sunglasses. You need thermals. You also definitely need layers of clothes, that is, multiple layers. You need short sleeves, long sleeves t shirts. You need a very good jacket. And along with this, you need a good beanie, a muffler. And keep in mind that carrying good pair of socks is important. Having more socks is very, very important. Woolen and cotton socks are mandatory. Carry a pair of rubber slippers, because when you go for a bath and a shower, you will definitely need them in your bathroom. Along with this, remember that carrying your medicines is priority. Even though Leh has plenty of medical stores, it's important that you carry whatever medication you feel you need from home, so you're not scrambling around. Now, remember, in the town of in Leh and around Ladakh, only postpaid network works. Geo and Airtel and BSNL work best. But I would personally recommend either Airtel or Geo, because they have the best network coverage, and most people in the mainstream city have them. If you are a prepaid, if you're a prepaid phone user, then remember your network will not work over there. So do not come thinking that you'll get a SIM in Leh and that's going to help you make UPI payments. That's not going to be possible. UPI needs your SIM to be active. So the best way for prepaid users is to carry cash and carry a debit card, so you can withdraw money. Before you come to Leh, make sure that you withdraw at least minimum 10,000 from your hometown. So by default, you can definitely use that cash. And if the best way for prepaid users is, I would suggest, is have somebody back at home who has your travel fund and can start making UPI payments to the various places, the homestays, the drivers, and all of those major chunk of money. So you do not have to worry about withdrawing it. In Leh, even though Leh and Hundar has ATMs, it is always better to make UPI payments. It's much faster. If you have somebody who's a postpaid user in your group, then you do not need to worry. You can transfer all the funds to them and work it out with them. Now, Leh Ladakh needs an inner line permit, which you have to do it online. You can go to their website and you can do it directly online. It will cost you anywhere between, I would say, 150 to 200 rupees per person, depending on the routing and the number of days that you're going to be spending out over there. Now, what is the difficulty of traveling to Ladakh in the month of April? It's the extreme cold, along with the fact that it can snow anytime in the month of April. So be prepared for that. I would personally recommend people who are going to Leh Ladakh to plan a trip which is a longer trip, anywhere between 7 to 9 days, so that in case it starts snowing and you're stranded in any place, by default, you have enough of time to get out of there without having any hazards. Now, remember, Leh Ladakh in the month of April is a good time to be going for the people who do not like the tourist flutter. If you're someone who's a core tourist at heart, then you will not like Ladakh in the month of April. A traveler will love Ladakh in the month of April, because there's going to be no crowd. The cafes and the restaurants are just going to be opening, so the options are going to be limited, but whatever is open is going to be really, really good. Along with this, remember that the best option is to fly in and out of Leh, because that's the most time convenient and at the same time the most safest option to be traveling to Ladakh in the month of April, because taking the road from Srinagar, the road, it can snow anytime and the road can get shut, and this can hamper your entire journey, because if you're stuck at Zero Point or at Zojila because of snowfall, you might end up losing a day or two of your trip, and your entire trip might get hampered. Now, if you are someone who's planning a trip to Leh Ladakh in the month of April and looking to book a trip with someone, we do have trips happening to Leh Ladakh. You can click on the link in the description and you'll go straight to our website. And from there, you can either directly book from our website, or you can contact our sales team, who will guide you through the booking process. Now, remember that our sales team is only here to guide the people who want to book a trip with us. If you are someone who's looking to just gain information related to Ladakh and have your personal queries, please do not call or message us. You can book a consultation with us, which is a paid service, or you can just leave a comment in the comment section, which will be much easier for us to reply, and our team will definitely get back to you. Now, remember, Ladakh in the month of April is a good time, but you just need to be having that many number of days. Do not come to Leh Ladakh in the month of April with a short 4 night, 5 day trip, because that's going to be a real bummer. And acclimatize well. Do not come to Leh Ladakh on day one and rush through the entire journey, because that's not going to be possible at all. It's a place that needs acclimatization, and the month of April definitely needs better acclimatization. And finally, if you haven't booked your flights, go ahead and book your flights right away, because the month of April is when the flights tickets start to steep up and become extremely costly. So now till our next video, stay safe, stay happy, and stay blessed.